Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins. In Soma's route, and we're gonna start skipping. So. Sudden! Yay! We never see him anymore. It's like he's dead. Sudden! Yay! We never see anymore. We never see him anymore. It's like he's dead. Sudden! Yay! We never see him anymore. It's like he's dead. Sudden! Yay! We never see him anymore. Sudden! Yay! We never see Sudden! Yay! I just wanted to keep going with that. Because it was just really funny. Whether I'm going to take action or not, I first find out why this was all happening in the first place.
They're after you, which means you need to stay here.
Okay, so this is when the demons come, and this is a totally different... So even though I'd probably looked visibly shaken, I approached Shimada to ask a question. Shimada, what is it like on the outside right now?
Currently, our warriors are engaging with wave after wave of their attacks. However, as you know, these men possess extraordinary power. To be quite honest, it may not be long before they're here.
Then, just as I was about to ask Shimada what I should do, in the event of their arrival, I heard footsteps approaching our room. Shimada, someone is coming!
I know. Stand back.
I like him. Like our big, cuddly bear. I placed my hand over the hilt of my kodachi, but it was trembling. If the person barging into our room were to be an ally, me swinging my sword around would probably do me no good, and it would probably kill them, because you suck at this. I knew this deep down, but I had to brace myself to become strong in this moment, and finally the door slid open. I was going to say, come on. If this is going to be different than what it normally is, it's fucking Soma. Yeah, thank you. Yukimura, are you safe? Soma, what are you doing here? I heard that we have some intruders, so I came looking for you. I was worried something might have happened to you, but I'm glad you're safe. You're like, yeah, look at you. You're cute and adorable, and look at Big Bear over here. Okay. Papa Bear's over here. We're good. I'm glad you're safe, too. Both of us seemed to be relieved upon seeing each other, but now wasn't the time to let our guards down. Shimada had been scoping the area out from behind the opening of the window, and he gave orders to Soma.
Soma, perfect timing. I'm going to check on the status of our warriors in the vicinity, and if all is clear, then I will aid them in combat. And I ask you to guard Yukimura in the meantime.
Yes, of course. It's what I came here to do. Shimada nodded, looked around the room, and ran off. As he left, I gripped my hands together to pray for everyone's safety. If what Sen said was true, then Kazama would be after me. This is the truth. Now we're going to tell him that we're a demon. If that were the case, then this battle would likely have nothing to do with the Shinsengumi. What are you doing? You are being so weird today. Why are you on my pillow? What are you doing sitting down there? My bird is being so fucking bizarre. What you doing? What are you sitting down there for? You getting into trouble? I heard him, and I heard you flapping around back there. What you playing on my pillow for? You're so weird. He's just sitting there, like, it's fucking bizarre. He does the weirdest shit sometimes. If that were the case, then this battle would likely have nothing to do. Okay, yeah. It was disorienting to think that, despite being the cause of all this fighting, all I could do was hide and stay out of everyone's way. Yukimura, please don't be upset. You don't need to worry about the warriors. You know better than anyone how strong they are. Yeah, but they're facing demons! And he's like, what now? Well, yes, I do, but then let's have faith in them. No matter who their opponent is, there's no way our captains can be outmatched. Soma stooped down to meet my eye level, and he shined a bright smile. Even though he was younger than me. Oh!
Younger man? Oh!
He looked quite mature. Okay, see, here's the thing, right? She looks like she's a fucking of course, okay, so we're saying, like, maybe she's, like, 17 or something, right, at this point. 17, 18, like, about 18-ish, say, when they're going to Edo at the end in the 1868. So this is probably, like, what? I don't know what time it is, because whatever, it doesn't make a difference. The dates are all off anyway. But so let's say she's 17, so he's, like, what? Like, he could be, like, just a few months younger than you, he could be younger, but, like, he don't look like he like a kid. But, like, you look at her and you're like, sometimes she looks derpy and 12, and you're like, really? He's younger than you? Why they draw him looking like he's 20? I mean, I don't think he's as old as the other dudes, you know, but at the same time, They draw him looking like he like 20. Like, not like he's 16. So I'm just saying. He's younger than me. By how much? Like 2 days? Girl. So he should be the lolly boy, but he's totally not, because he looks fucking 20. It's not like we're like, oh, we're like 27 and he's like 20 years younger than us. It's like, he's like 17 and we're 17 and a half. I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway. Besides, I'll be by your side, teacher. I may not be as good a swordsman as the captains, but I'll never run from an enemy. He is so fucking pretty. Kazama, Amagiri, and Shiranui, 3 who called themselves demons, were all enemies capable of overpowering the captains. If someone were to cross swords with one of them, there's no telling which way it could go. You're like, look, I'm not saying this to hurt your feelings, but you're gonna die if you fight them. However, Soma's words were so warm and powerful that all of those worries were just blown away. Thank you so much, Soma. I almost feel weird because, like, he's just a page and he's a little bit younger than us, and it's almost like now you're playing this and you're like, but he's like not. I know Iba wasn't really one of the Shinsengumi members so much so, but at this time it's like, I almost feel like we're betraying the Shinsengumi by like falling in love with someone of our own stature, of a like the page boy. You know what I mean? Like, aren't we supposed to be romancing the samurai guys? He's a wannabe samurai and he'll be one someday, but it just feels weird. There's a slight oddity to it. I'm like, they couldn't have made him just like one of the normal warriors. Like, nah, he's got to be the page boy. It just feels like we're forsaking. Anyway. To be quite honest, I felt a little uneasy. I personally can attest to how dangerous these intruders are. Hello, Weird Bird. But it's all right now. I'm so glad you're here with me. I was simply saying how I felt. For some reason, he was flustered and shook his head, and he took a deep breath to calm himself. We listened carefully and looked to our left to make sure we were safe. Don't you think it's awfully quiet outside? Come to think of it, you're right. I don't hear any swords clashing. Maybe the men were able to drive the demons away. I'll go check and see what's going on. Please wait here. I know it was dangerous to move, but I couldn't just sit here all day. Besides, if things really had settled down, there may be injured that I needed to treat as soon as possible. No, I'll go too. Let's go together. We used the moonlight to watch our steps as we stepped into the night compound. Ever since we'd arrived at the Nishi Hongwanji temple, I'd taken the effort to familiarize myself, but for some reason tonight, in this light, it felt as if we'd stumbled into a foreign land. Stay close to me, Yukimura. Please be careful, Soma. As Soma led the way, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something lurking in the darkness. Something had felt quite off. There were no signs of battle around us. It seems like no one is around. No, but I have a feeling we aren't alone. Just as he said that, the sounds of gravel rustling under footsteps startled us, and we saw shadows creeping toward us. What we had seen was a silhouette of the person I'd wanted to see least in the entire world. Saito? No, I'm just kidding. We know it's Kazama. Come on. Oh, man! Could not have guessed that. You're... Finally, I found you, demon girl. Who would have expected you to be hiding here? Now come with me. We belong together. I mean, that's just a nice sentiment. You're an asshole. But it's a nice sentiment. We belong together. Ah! Oh, you're not even going to fall in love with me. You just want to hump and dump. It's just not nice. I've already told you. I refuse. So you're the attacker, but I won't let you take her. Oh, you're going to die, honey. It's cute. Oh, but you look feisty when you whip your sword out. Why did you attack the compounds? What do you want Yukimura for? Breeding stock, basically. Above us was the glow of the bright moon, and Soma's sword glimmered from its light. However, Kazama scoffed his questions off, looking completely unnerved by Soma's stance. Unnerved. He wouldn't have been completely unnerved. He was... Okay. Anyway. Move along, servant. I have no business with insects like you. Soma, get back! He's not a normal... Kazama became agitated, and suddenly he hit Soma with a surprise attack. What is this power? Pfft, you're a joke. You worthless insect. How dare you get in my way? Ah! Kazama slashed at Soma relentlessly. Oh god, they're gonna make him take the fucking water of life at this point. He's gonna die, and you're gonna be like, and that's weird. No, we got more time with him, so. He struggled to defend against all of Kazama's blows. Soon he fell to his knees out of exhaustion. There was no fooling in the gap of skill, as Soma had failed to intercept or block any move fully. You're like, oh, he's so useless. That's so adorable. Why aren't you retreating? Is this your pitiful attempt at being a bodyguard? Oh my god, he's gonna die. Or is it over your stupid pride as a warrior? Can we at least say something and be like, Soma, just stop. Ah! I love hearing the screams most of all. At this rate, you won't survive another blow. Still, you may as well tell me before you're out for good. Mind explaining the reason you're wasting your life by trying to protect her? Well, I wasn't just a bodyguard. I made a promise. And for my pride. Thought so. What a stupid reason. Kazama's such a dick, but I kind of love him. Ah! I don't want to scream really loud, but you're all the same, clinging to your false pride and dying without ever actually accomplishing anything of worth. You're just another member on a long list of useless cults or mobs. Kazama sneered with disinterest, and he flicked his arm up with his sword in his hand. You bore me. Let's get this over with, then. No one's gonna jump in! We're not even gonna try! God, we're an asshole. We should have jumped in front of him like 2 seconds and like, psh. Don't you fucking... like, ah, and you're like, you're not gonna kill me because you need me alive. Don't you fucking touch him. Don't you touch my boyfriend. Just my poor little precious baby boyfriend. Gah! Soma flew back, slamming into the floor, and Kazama didn't look fazed in the least. I know, because he's bad. Aw. Now that the insect is done with, it's time for you to come. Come to where you really belong. Ugh! I just want to let you know that if you're hoping for the humans to come and swoop you up, you may as well give up now. Even if they claim to be swordsmen, they're off fighting Amagiri and Shiranui, who are more than enough to handle them. I'm certain that they're being brutally slaughtered as we speak. Take out your Kodachi and fight this bitch. The fear on your face amuses me. How does it feel to know these insects are being squashed because of you? If you weren't in the picture for them, I'm sure they wouldn't have risked their lives so foolishly as they have. So was it really all my fault? Kinda. I became lightheaded as I began to panic. I just wanted to collapse and faint. Oh, for fuck's sake, girl, grow a pair. Hike your tits up and fight him. Kazama then grabbed my shoulders and he whispered into my ears, but his voice was oddly compassionate and warm. There's no need to worry. Humans are just a different breed compared to the demons. It's the same as crushing a beetle, so don't feel guilt. Who said I was going to go with you? I've already told you I'm not going anywhere. Thank God. She hiked her tits up and now she's going to fight him. If you're going to pretend you're brave, then you should learn how to stop shaking as you speak. Kazama's hand was reaching toward me as I continued to shake with fear. I wanted to swat his hand away, but fear had made my body freeze up, as if I were paralyzed. Bitch, get angry. This is what I need. I need them, like, I get it, you're afraid. You know what? There's going to be a point where all of a sudden you snap and you're like, motherfucker! And you just get angry. Every single woman hits that. You could be afraid, but there's going to be a point where you're going to fucking snap. You're going to be, like, fucking angry. Even if you fail at fighting, you're going to fucking try. You're going to be like, I suck at this. Scratch him a little bit, smack him one. I mean, he's going to backhand you across the room because he's a fucking demon, but at least try instead of be like, I'm just going to shake and cower like a leaf. No. Attempt. God damn you. Oh. Although, and then this is why, because then he jumps up to protect us and Derpy McStupid face over here. Look at this. Seriously, this is my problem. Oh, I can't do anything. I'm a demon, but oh, Derpy face, and he's like all aggressively gorgeous. And you're like, damn, you dumb fuck needs protection. I mean, you want them to protect you. Like, I get that. I get the whole point is like, wait, we need him to jump up and protect us because it makes them look sexier and everything. But could we have at least tried him and like, I try to swat his hand away and he's like, but we're not going to be able to fight him. We know that. We suck at this. But we could at least try and not be like, oh, I'm going to cower like a leaf and demand to protect. At least attempt. Get angry and be like, don't touch me, bitch. And like swat his hand away or back away from him and be like, fuck you. And then he's going to punch you and you're going to be like, fuck, that hurt. And then someone's going to jump up and be like, I'm going to fucking kick your ass for touching her. And then you're like, thanks, because he would have killed me. Because it was stupid to try to fight him. But I have anger management issues. And like, you know, I would rather have them just that moment of attempt than just like cowering in a puddle like a goddamn scared chihuahua. You know, I mean, at least, you know, I mean, bark a little. That's all I'm saying. Don't just cower and pee and sit there in it. Like, I'm so scared I peed myself. You're still alive, huh? Soma had stood up in front of me. I know every once in a while she has moments, but she has too many stupid asshole moments like this, like fucking useless. Did you say the warriors were dead already? They're not as weak as you think. Teacher, don't let him trick you. You need to have faith in them, not his words. He's right. Oh my god, you're so dumb. It wasn't a for sure thing that everyone else had lost their lives already. If you would have just laid there like the weakling you are, I would have let you live. You have no sword, nothing to fight with. What can you do? Even if there's no sword, I can still protect her. If you're just following orders and throwing your life away, then you're just stupid. Even though Kazama was insulting him, Soma was able to bring out a pained smile. No, the reason why I keep getting up is because I'm a man who's only as good as his word. I made a vow with the men who are off fighting against your men. A vow to protect Yukimura, even if it costs me my life. I admire your enthusiasm, but your words won't be able to save you. No matter how strong you think you are, you're nothing compared to me. Kinda true, but... Kazama raised his arm to swing. The blade cut through the air as if summoning the strength of the moon behind, and the sound cracked through the air, popping my ears. You won't be able to dodge that one! Soma, get out of the way! I tried to alert him, but... I don't know who's saying it, but you make quite the interesting point. You're saying humans can't defeat you. I'm guessing... Oh! Sonnen. Yes! I was gonna guess Hijikata, but I'm so glad it's Sonnen. Like, so wait. You make quite the interesting point. You're saying humans can't defeat you? Then why don't you deal with someone who isn't human either? Sonnen, you've come! Oh, Sonnen, I love you. I love them all, but we never see him, and I just like it when he gets his feisty glasses face going on. I love glasses! I still love Saito, he's my robot, but he's my glasses, but he's the cross between the glasses asshole and the glasses softy. Like, the glasses, like, sweetheart. I can't, you know. He was standing silently with the intent to kill, and he unsheathed his katana. Upon seeing Sonnen, Soma's eyes grew wide from surprise. Hurdle, Sonnen, I heard you were dead. We shall leave the details for a later time. Stand back, you two. It would be a shame for either of you to be swept up in battle that's not of the human world. What are they? Are they part of the Shinsengumi too? Now, why don't we compare the power of these so-called demons and the power of the Furies? I love his angry face. Look at those fucking eyes. Those are his bedroom eyes. Now that's his I'm gonna murder you face. But, you know, Sonnen's hair was becoming a brilliant white, and his eyes were turning a deep crimson like a ghost. I know we're in Soma's path, but I fucking love Sonnen still. I mean, seriously, if Hijikata had come up, it would be like, ah! Like, I love all of our boys. With Sonnen's mark, the Fury Cord emerged and charged to attack Kazama. Ugh. Kazama was knocking down the Furies one by one, but after each one fell, another rose back up. No matter how many times they were stabbed, they stood unscathed like cursed immortals. All of you fakes! Kazama seemed to be overwhelmed by the never-ending flurry of Furies, and he jumped away. I spent too much time here. Fine, I'll retreat for now. But don't forget, demon girl, I will come for you. Eventually. And with that, Kazama disappeared into the darkness. The tension was cut loose, and I crumbled to the floor. But I looked over to see Soma, who was standing dumbfounded. And he's standing, I mean, he got beat the fuck up. Like, he got sliced and diced, and he's like, nah, I'm fine, I'm cool. I think we're safe now. Oh, I have to treat your injuries. It's not as bad as it looks. I'm fine. Forget that. What was that all about, Yukimura? He was saying a bunch of stuff like that he was a demon, and he called them fakes. All absurd things. What's more, Colonel Sanan, I was told that he died, but he looked just like the creature on the block print that I had back then. An enemy who claimed to be a demon. Warriors who rose no matter how wounded. Sanan unexpectedly back from the dead. I could imagine how beyond belief these things must have seemed to Soma as they unfolded. I didn't blame him for seeming confused. I decided to not explain it to him. We're supposed to not explain it to him. Huh. Not explain it to him. That's what the guide says. I wish that I could explain everything to him. At the moment, he had just tapped into so many things that were previously unknown to him. Yet all he could do was remain silent. He looked so serious, and I couldn't look him in the eye. I'm sorry, I can't tell you anything. But everything you saw touches upon the true secrets of the Shinsengumi, now more than ever. I can't be the one to tell you any information without Kondo or Hijikata's approval. That's why. Okay, I'm like, not tell him anything? Because we're gonna be like, look, I can't tell you without their approval, and he's gonna be like, I understand, man. And we're following our duty. Soma didn't seem satisfied with that response, but he didn't ask anymore. But if he finds out the truth, I know there's no turning back. If he's gotten involved this much, so there's no way he could anyways. But I didn't want to involve him in the taboo that my father had spread. So I kept quiet and I bowed. I'm really sorry. I understand. I won't force it out of you. I thought he'd be pressing for an answer more, so I was surprised and I looked up. Because it's our duty not to tell. He's like, I understand. You're not telling me because you're concerned for my well-being, right? Well, that too. Well, I'm not that dull. I can pick up on that. Soma looked troubled and his eyes thinned, and he gave me a little laugh. And more than anything, your expression. If you look like that, how could I force anything out of you? I'm sorry. Please, Yukimura, no need to apologize anymore. I noticed my heart sink a bit in my chest as he pretended to be unfazed to me. And as much as I felt guilty about it, there was a little bit of relief too, which confused me. Soma, thank you for your wise understanding. There are many things in life that are better left unknown. And besides, even if Yukimura is remaining silent, what transpired here has already happened. Now that you know that I'm alive, I'm sure Hijikata will explain things immediately. Shortly after, we were left dealing with the aftermath with the captains, while Sanan and the Fury Corps disappeared as if they were smoke. All of the warriors were tending to the casualties. After having finished his treatment, Soma was called in by Hijikata. We can assume they attacked us today because they knew we didn't have the manpower after Ito and his men left. Indeed, losing Saito and Heisuke has been a huge blow. We were able to handle their efforts, thanks in no small part to Sanan. But because of all that, this one over here came face to face with Sanan. The captains surrounding Soma all seemed to share the same probing glares. However, Soma wasn't fazed by it all, and he asked them the same question he asked me. Commander Hijikata, please tell me, what were they? What do you mean by they? Everyone, really. Both the men who attacked us, and the men with white hair who saved us. What do you want to do, Kondo? Well, the minute I put Yukimura in charge of him, I figured we need to tell him one day. I suppose it all means that today is that day. It's fine. Please continue. Okay, first things first. The guys who attacked us are cooperating with this Asuma. They claim to be demons. Demons? That makes sense, I guess. They are way too strong for me. So that would explain why... But what bothers me more is why they'd be after her.
Yeah, well, we're still sorting that one out.
Hijikata looked over at me, glancing as if he'd wanted me to further expand his answer, so I nodded. Well, according to them, I supposedly come from a demon clan.
You? A demon?
Honestly, I still don't know. I mean, I've lived a pretty normal life, so I'm not quite sure what to make of being told I'm a demon all of a sudden. Still, it is true that my body does some things that aren't the same as the average person. For example, serious injuries of mine heal quickly. Of course, to a skeptic, one could write it off as my body having exceptional healing or something, but a part of me felt convinced by what they told me the minute they called me a demon.
And the men with the white hair who saved you were called Furies. They're different from demons, but they too have powers beyond those of a normal human.
Are they on our side?
Sure they are. Although it's not what I'd call official. We still consider them as a division of the Shinsengumi.
So it must mean that there's a reason why they're not official. Soma's sharp inquiry made Hijikata sigh, and then the latter glared back at him.
We've ordered you to protect Yukimura, but if you really want to be part of this, then she won't be the only one you have to protect. What we're going to show you is one of the Shinsengumi's darkest secrets, and what you'll have to protect is the secret at any cost. Are you sure you're ready for this, Kazue Soma?
I want to be a member of the Shinsengumi, even after everything you just told me. Soma was showing no signs of wavering from his resolve, and Kondo nodded to him. Please, tell me the true nature of the Shinsengumi. Furies are former humans who changed after drinking the water of life.
Yes, when they turn, their hair becomes stark white, and they gain superhuman strength and the power of regeneration.
And the person who was performing all this research was my father, Kodo Yukimura. Furies, the water of life, and my father. After everything was disclosed to him, Soma sat there in shock. Oh, so the woodblock I got in Edo...
Exactly. It was a depiction of a fury, which is why I was so surprised to see you holding something like that.
So the artist knows what a fury is.
Yes, he should. Ibuki, that is someone we've known for a long time. All the way back when we were still called the Roshigumi, before you joined.
I'd noticed that when Hijikata began talking about this artist, Ibuki, he seemed genuinely happy. I would have never guessed that Ibuki had known the Shinsengumi men all those years ago. I thought it was nice that Hijikata was waxing nostalgic about it, but something peculiar came to my attention. If I'd really put all the pieces together, it was obvious that Ibuki's drawing was of a fury. So that means he too found out about the secret, and he departed from them soon after. I wasn't sure exactly what caused him to leave, but I'm sure that it was because of something that didn't sit well with the Shinsengumi men. Because when everyone found out of his whereabouts, it seemed like everyone felt relieved. So that must mean that when someone learns about the Shinsengumi secrets, you're inviting an entire world of danger.
Water of life, furies, demons. Everything you just heard is part of our deepest secrets. If any outsider were to find out about them, our whole organization would be in danger. Hence, we'll not allow you to tell anyone. Can you still vow that it'll be all right? If it's like the crease, like he's so angry, he's got this angry crease in his brow. Just love it.
I put my word on the flag of the Makoto.
Flag of the Makoto, huh? You're the first person who's ever said that. Never forget your vow.
You're like, ha, that's cute. No one's ever said that.
Don't you forget it.
Hijikata has a little bit, like, Okita has a little bit of Hijikata in him. They, like, have a little bit of each other. Because, like, Hijikata, like, ha, no one's ever said that.
If you fucking lie, I'll kill you.
They just come, like... But, like, Hijikata says it angry. And Okita's like, I will fucking kill you. I'm just saying. You're like, you say it so happily. Hijikata left the room, and behind him was the cool breath of winter breezing in the hallway. Cool breath of winter breezing in the hallway. Okay. Soma and I walked together down the hall, staring up into the night sky, and I spoke to him as he contemplated deeply. Are you alright, Soma? I'm still kind of scratching my head at the whole thing, but I think I got the majority of it. Seems like I have a lot more to think about. Not just the warrior I want to be, or the Shinsengumi secrets, or even you. Look at that face. He's like, but I still love you, baby. I think I just have a lot of things that'll require my protection, even if it means risking my life. Soma laughed it off so nonchalantly, but for me, I couldn't get myself to laugh along with him. Please, Soma, don't talk about risking your life lightly. Huh? Yukimura, I was scared when you were battling Kazama. I thought you would die. If something like that ever happens again, please don't push yourself too hard. Please take priority in making sure that you're safe first. Yukimura, I am sorry, but I can't do that. Why? If I were to lose you because I thought of myself first, I don't think I could ever live with myself, let alone be proud of the person I hope to be. That's adorable. He's like, if I lose you like that, this is not, I made a promise and I'm going to protect you even though I fucking hate you. It's like, obviously, because this would have been said even if we go down the bad path, but still. Still makes me feel like he kind of loves us. So this is non-negotiable, even if the order is coming from you. I didn't really have a response to that, and all I could do was stare up at the constellations. This man, he was always so stern, yet tactless, which I suppose is a credit to his honesty. Maybe in some ways, Soma sees a lot of himself in Kondo. Such thoughts entered my mind as the winds carrying the scents of spring blew around me. Okay.
Oh! Again, we don't get to see you very often, and you're probably still going to die, because you die in every round. This game hates you. I don't understand why. You're such a nice little man.
I'll always remember that time we made dinner together, which was only in passing because we didn't actually do it, but still. Oh, July 1867. We had to leave Nishi Hongwanji Temple, which served as our headquarters for a while now. The Shinsengumi chose for a new location to be south of our now former base in a village called Fudodo. Fushimi! Fudodo! Fushimi is still more fun than Fudodo. Fudodo just sounds like dodo bird. Fudodo! But Fushimi is fun. I like it. It sounds cute and squishy. This time, we weren't renting our headquarters like we did in the Yagi residence or the Nishi Hongwanji. Kondo seemed delighted for this opportunity, knowing it was something we could call our own. A little while had passed since we relocated, and the positivity from our new settings continued. Soma and I were waiting for a guest to arrive in my room. Soma, you don't have to be so nervous. I'm not nervous. Are you sure? Contrary to his words, Soma had been pacing back and forth in my room for several minutes. There was no doubt in my mind that he was, indeed, nervous. But I kept quiet since I thought it was rude to speak up about it. But Soma responded again. I mean, I'm not nervous, but the last time I saw Colonel Sanan was under such crazy circumstances. Every time I see Colonel Sanan, my mind just wants to say Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanan, not Sanders. Sanan. To think that I'll be facing him once again, in an official capacity too, has me a little on edge. Yes, our previous meeting with him wasn't one where we could easily sit down and talk. Right? The battle with Kazama, the demon, and then meeting the Furies, I was barely able to register what was going on. On that day, the demons attacked the headquarters. Soma had fought Kazama, risking his life in the process to protect me. He was badly injured and he was actually close to being killed, but he never backed down. It seems as if his wounds have been healing well since then, but thinking back to that day about how badly it was hurt, it made my heart feel heavy. If I were being completely honest, I wish so deeply that he would never face such pain again. Is something the matter? Oh, it's nothing. Anyways, I think Sonnen is going to come here soon. Are you ready? Yes, but never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be given orders to watch after the Fury Corps. The Fury Corps represented the darker side of the organization, so of course, to outsiders, and even internally, it was a closely guarded secret. So this whole time, the cleaning, laundry, food preparation, and other chores were all being handled by me alone. However, since Soma had found out about the Fury Corps, Soma and pretty soon Nomura would start joining me. But what help can I be when it comes to watching after them? I think it would be better to get the information from Sanin directly. He should be arriving here at any moment. And as if on cue, I heard a cool voice responding from outside in the hallway. Excuse me for bothering you at such a late hour in the evening, Yukimura. Oh, Sonnen. Sonnen, I've been expecting you. He nodded, and then Sonnen entered before smiling towards Soma. He's so charming, and then he gets stabby a little bit. It's great. It's kind of like a split personality. However, I got the sense that through his smile, he was probing Soma with observant eyes. Now, at this point, I do not know whether it is more appropriate to say, nice to meet you, or long time no see. The last time we met, we were in the middle of battle, so speaking wasn't an option. So our first meeting must have been the last time we spoke. Who would have thought the boy I met back then would eventually join the Shinsengumi and even get promoted to become Kondo's page? Certainly not me, but now I stand before you as a member of the Shinsengumi. When I had joined, I'd heard that you passed away, Colonel Sannon, and it surprised me. Soma was looking straight at Sonnen. Sonnen then smirked jokingly, as if he was amused by Soma's sentiment. Unfortunately, I do not have the luxury of floating around from place to place, but other than that, I suppose I am rather ghost-like. I apologize for my rudeness. Sonnen, please don't play around with him too much. I think it's so cute. Sonnen's like, and you're like, Sonnen, please don't dick around with him. Like, dude, stop messing with the kid. He's like, scared, and we're like, Sonnen, stop. And he's like, seriously, stop scaring him. Be like if he was a ghost and he would just pop up behind him. Boo! Stop messing with him. I jest. Aren't you glad to have such an honest and courteous student, Yukimura? Sonnen kept snickering to himself, and then he turned to look towards me like, that's adorable. Like, Sonnen's fucking, like, isn't he I just love this. We get to see more of him finally, but it's like, you're so adorable. You're like, you're messing with the kid. He's like, I'm just having a good old playtime. And he gets a little stabby. I had known that he was only poking fun, but as Soma's teacher, I was a little happy to hear my student being praised. That you're gonna bone later. That's weird. Ha! Student-teacher relationships. Naughty, even though we're barely older than him, but... Now, I assume Kondo and Hijikata were able to brief you accordingly about our secrets. I've also heard that you've been appointed under Yukimura to take care of the Fury Corps. Yes, it is a pleasure. Likewise. I know you were asked to take care of us, but please do not feel so stiff about it. Your task will include preparing meals and doing laundry, and from time to time we may ask you to perform some errands. Is that all? Were you under the impression that I would ask you to give us your blood to feed? When you say it like that, it doesn't sound like a joke, Sonnen. Sonnen continued grinning in a self-serving way, and his eyes squinted behind his glasses frames. Forget about all that, Soma. There's a more important duty for you to remember. If you're the acting caretaker, remember this. Never let any of the ordinary warriors reach the back of the compounds where the Fury Corps resides. It is, of course, to prevent a leak in information, but we also cannot let people interrupt our research. We're performing research on the Water of Life, a serum capable of changing humans to Furies. Changing humans to Furies? Does that mean... Yes, the Shinsengumi has been performing research this entire time. Sonnen, are you sure you want to tell him that? Yes, Hijikata and I have already spoke, and he doesn't mind if I share things with Soma. He told me to tell him everything, and from there, we can see what kind of a man Soma really is. But Soma truly respected the Shinsengumi. To share with him their dark side is... Well, maybe I was worrying for nothing. Not only did Soma seem steadfast in the moment, but I saw his passion burn brighter than ever before. Please, tell me more about the Water of Life and the Furies. Very well. I'm sure you've heard snippets from Hijikata, but... A certain group ordered the Shinsengumi to begin experimenting with the Water of Life. The Water of Life was a taboo serum that contained the power to change humans into Furies, granting them agility, superhuman strength, and regeneration powers. I stayed quiet as he explained everything. Furies are very useful when it comes to last-ditch reinforcements, but for the individual, a large sacrifice comes with obtaining such power. Those who become Furies, their hair will become bright white, their eyes will turn red, and bloodlust will consume them. The intense pain of this unquenchable thirst, it causes some to look for human blood in order to satisfy their cravings. But then they're almost like monster. It seemed as though Soma had realized his words may offend the man in front of him, so he quickly shut himself up and stopped there. However, Sana had no reaction, perhaps unfazed by his comment, and he shrugged it off. Yes, you're right. We are monsters. At this rate, I cannot blame people for thinking that. However, thanks to our recent research findings, we've been able to suppress the bloodlust well. What? Is that true? You've witnessed it, Yukimura. The other day when the Fury Corps acted as reinforcements, you could see them exerting more control. Come to think of it, I had been attacked by a Fury before. At the time, calling them blood-crazed monsters probably would have been the perfect way to describe them, but compared to then, the warriors we saw helping us were perfectly competent and self-aware. Of course, it's too soon to say that it's perfect. The bloodlust isn't totally gone, and we are still nocturnal. However, it is a start, and now our research is beginning to yield actual results. I plan on looking into more of them as well. He's like, starting with you, Yukimura. So it would help us greatly if we were to find Kodo. Kodo? Who's that? Oh, we fucking told you! We told you before! Don't be dumb! Stop being blonde. Soma seemed confused by this mention, so I meekly chimed in. Kodo Yukimura is my father, and he is the person responsible for bringing the water of life into the Shinsengumi. Your father? And that is why Yukimura is staying with the Shinsengumi, as well as disguising her gender. We're asking for her to help us in our search for Kodo. Soma's like, son of a bitch, why am I in love with you? Soma was quiet for a while. It looked as though he was turning those new discoveries over and over in his head. I feel like in the low romance, but he should be like, you're a monster! And like run away and just be like, oh, that hurts! Still not as much as Soji threatening to kill me, but it would still hurt. Because this is a lot on his shoulders, right? Like, FYI, I'm a demon, and I'm a girl, and there's Furies and all this stuff, and he's like, too much! Like, he about to snap. Like, so I feel like the low romance bed ending would be really great if he just snapped him and like, you're monsters! And just, like, lost his shit. You hurt me and all of the Shinsengumi. But anyway. Yukimura, I have one question for you. So if your father, Kodo, was the person responsible for the water of life, what do you plan on doing once you find your father? Well, I want to talk with him. I want to live with him. I didn't even read the options. I was like, what am I supposed to say? I want to talk to him. I want to live with him. No. I love living with my boys. I would never leave my man harem. I mean my boys. I mean my friends. I mean, yeah, no, my man sluts. My harem. Yes. First, I want to talk to him. The original reason for me coming to Kyoto was to find my father. I was planning on staying with the Shinsengumi only temporarily and cooperating with them. And as soon as I found my father, I was planning on leaving. But not anymore. As I began spending time with the Shinsengumi, learning about the water of life and the Furies, I learned just how deeply my father was involved with the water of life. Now, it looks like I don't even know who my father is anymore. It's like I don't, okay. Or what's going on in his head. So I want to see him, speak with him, and have him answer some of my questions. I want him to take responsibility for bringing this water of life to the Shinsengumi and fucking up my men. I mean, I'm not even kidding. He fucked up my boyfriendos. Except for Harada, he's the only one that hasn't taken it so far. At least, that's what I've been thinking lately. I love his sexy, angry face. That was all true. If my father was the one who created the water of life, it seems reasonable to think he could find ways to suppress the bloodlust, or perhaps even reverse engineer the entire process. I fell silent, and Sanan, who had been quietly observing, curled his lips and looked up. He faced Soma, looking him directly in the eye. Okay, Soma. It's apparent to you how close to home what we've discussed. Wait, is it apparent to you how close to home what we've disclosed with you is? Yes, if this information were to leak to outsiders, it would compromise the Shinsengumi. And that's why Yukimura and all of you kept such a tight lip about it all. Now I understand. It is good that you understand well, but it's not only the Shinsengumi's problem. Think about it. Under the Aizu's care, the Shinsengumi are performing experiments that are turning humans into monsters all to fight. If the public were to learn about this, the shogunate would face an influx of query. There's no way the shogunate can let this happen. And if other domains were to respond similarly, there would be nothing for us to do to stop it. This is how deep the well goes. Shogunate will be affected. He seemed to picture it in his head, and Soma was at a loss for words. Hearing it articulated in front of me made me feel the secret's burden more than I had a moment ago. If you think this information is too much for you to handle, then forget everything I just said. You can still fight as a warrior of the Shinsengumi without being exposed to these truths. It is not wrong of you to desire a life that is more well-adjusted and safe. This is a path that you have, and not one that I did not and can never go down again. Wait, this is a path that you have, and one that I do. Oh, okay, I read that totally fucking wrong. I'm sorry. Ahem. That was us rewinding. This is a path that you have, and one that I do not and can never go down again. I didn't understand how Sanin could draw the comparison between himself and Soma, but I could sense some of his usual self-derision. But even then, Soma stood confidently. No, I refuse to forget. Despite acknowledging how dark the implications were, he proudly took a step forward. These are the secrets that both the Shinsengumi captains and Yukimura have protected. You guys have been hurt, even suffered for all of this. But none of you looked away or pretended to ignore this reality. How could you tell me to turn my back and forget everything after all you've told me? I could never do such a thing. Soma, I'll never turn my back on this, even if that means the path I take will be a dark one. I'll be here until the end. That's my fate as a member of the Shinsengumi. I think I'm beginning to see what Kondo and Hijikata see in you. Sanin gave a small laugh. In fact, it seemed like a genuine laugh, rather than his usual snideness or self-deprecation. Then, allow me to inform Hijikata officially. Soma, Yukimura, it's been an honor, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Peace out, bro. Someone's like, thank you, Colonel Sanin, and we're like, later, Kaisuke. It's really Keisuke, but I can't. My brain is like, Keisuke. When Sanin left, Soma gave a big, big sigh. Good job, Soma. I feel like it's been a long while since I've seen Sanin so happy. Really? Yes, I think he was very impressed on how bold you were. Even from my perspective, I think the way Soma acted was quite gallant. He never showed any doubts, and he looked straight into Sanin's eyes and confronted all of the Shinsengumi's dark secrets. You were really admirable. In that moment, I felt like more of an older sister rather than his teacher, and I smiled. Don't do this brother-sister thing, that's creepy. No, it's not. Are you twins? Is it twincest? You know, we haven't had a game with that. Where is that? We get stabby, we get kind of creepy and rapey, we get like weird lolly boys, but we've never gotten twincest. What the fuck? The debauchery is spreading deep within me. These games have like ruined me, and it's like, oh, just bring on all the inappropriate. Bring it on. Oh, we'll get some of the weird, horrible things when we finally get to play Diabolic Lovers. In like a year. Maybe. Soma gave a small laugh, then shook his head. I'm really happy that you're praising me, but to be honest, I was really nervous. See, look. When I was talking, my hands were shaking the whole time. Then he lifted his hands in front of me, which were trembling nonstop. Oh, he's like purple-gray eyes. They're like lilac. They're like gray, but they seemed, maybe it's just because the background, they're like gray, but they look like they have a hint of like purple in them. They're like a very, very pale purpley gray. I like it. I touched them with my fingertips. You're right. You're shaking so much. You must have been so nervous. Well, the shake is, Nothing. Well, I guess you could say I'm still kind of nervous. He turned his eyes away, but Soma kept his hands up. I cocked my head in confusion. Oblivious, Spacey is oblivious. And that's how the night in which our secrets were revealed ended for me and Soma. That was such a cock block. I mean, you knew you weren't going to get anything, right? You knew. I knew. But at the same time, it's like I come, and that's how our night ended. The fuck? if this was like, say this was like the first route you played and you didn't know the game was going to cock block you, that would have been more of a slap in the face, right? What the fuck, cock block? But we already know the game cock blocks you, so you're like, not surprised. And that's how the night ended. What? Wait, what just happened? Thought we were going to get some lucky. But he was like, I'm still nervous because I'm sitting with you and I love you. I was always attracted to you, but I couldn't admit it. I still wanted to help. Help with Ito. This is the first time we get to do this. I'd already decided I would. Please, let me help you with Ito. Kondo stared back at me, watching me with what looked like a fierce determination, as if he was looking to analyze my own, and eventually...
Very well. You may accompany us.
I don't think we should do that. But afterwards, Ito obliged to Kondo's invite and visited his second home. So, to what do I owe the pleasure of being summoned here before you today? I could perhaps hazard a guess that you want to ask me something.
Hello, Ito. Thank you for coming tonight.
I've called you
in here to have a discussion. It's about the current political climate. We've come to a realization that we must come to a consensus about how to move forward from here.
Look, oh my god, this is so great. We're gonna fucking kill Ito. They're gonna fucking kill him. But Hijikata's there with this, like, look on his face, like, we are all friends here. It's so robotic, though, almost. Like, this is his happy face. But in this situation, it looks like, I am attempting to smile. Okay, Data. Jesus Christ. Like, Saito's really my robot, but Hijikata is like, I do not know how to smile. And he's like, but his brow's creased, and he's like, I am so concerned that our plan is not going to go as intended. And it looks so fucking suspicious.
Kondo, save the business talk for later. First, let's get warmed up.
Hijikata reached out for the sake and poured some for Ito. Oh, it's poisoned. Oh my, who thought I'd ever have Hijikata pour me a cup of sake?
Oh, don't be like that. It's not like any of us have your education. Took us a while to get up to your speed. We finally come to realize that you were right this whole time.
And Cher doesn't see that this is fucking bullshit.
Look, he's like, bitch, please, this is all bullshit.
It's like Ito can read my mind. I was like, they poisoned, and she's like, there'd better not be some poison in the sake.
What? You can trust me. Fine.
Hijikata poured Ito's sake into his cup and drank it all.
How's this? You can now see there's no poison inside.
My, that was very rude of me. Then I should take a sip as well. And he's like, ha 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 ha, I drank the antidote. I'm kidding. Ito took a sip of the sake. As the sake got more into his system, Ito grew rosy in his cheeks, and he was jollier than usual. He actually made him rosy-cheeked. Seishisai? I was reading that anyway. Are you familiar with when it's Seishisai? Seishisai. Aizawa wrote the new debate and wrote about the dangers of the outside world. Not gonna wait. Seishisai, something like that. Aizawa. I got the Aizawa part. Aizawa. Sort of. Anyway, a scholar and thinker of the Mitogaku Fujita faction who acted as the feudal retainer of Mito. He published a summary of imperial nationalist theory called Shinran, meaning new thesis. Shinran? Something like that. That was 40 years ago. 40! Do you know how much change has been brought on because of the shogunate?
You're absolutely right, Ito. The Bakushin are so stubborn.
Yes, you agree! I heard rumors that the shogunate turned the land of Ezo collateral. Collateral by borrowing money from a foreign country, and now wants to westernize the troops. No, because E would be A. Yeah, Ezo. northern part of Japan. It is now referred to as Hokkaido. Hokkaido. Ha! I actually said that right the first time. I'm pretty sure that's fucking right, but I watch a lot of like vlogs and stuff like that, like people that like traveling to Japan or like that live there, and like so I get used to the prefectures names and the areas and cities and stuff because I say them. So I learn things. You learn things by watching YouTube. Not anything that you learn nothing on this channel. You learn fucking nothing from me except for how to be an asshole, but I mean, you're welcome. Anyway.
What? Is that true?
Yes. This intel came to me from a very reliable source. Once you sell off your land, all you can do is gain it back through war. If we leave the country to people who insist on their horrible diplomacy, then Japan will be reduced to nothing more than a colony for the West.
I see. Hondo, this means we'll have to rethink a lot of things. You're right. Ito would be an honor if you could continue to guide us on such matters in the future.
We would have done this when we go down Hijikata's path too, but... Yes, of course. As Confucius once said, gentlemen are undignified if they're frivolous, and they aren't stubborn after learning. All of you must learn to open your minds to proper knowledge, or you'll follow the path of the hard-headedness. I've kind of lost his voice, but he's also drunk, so...
Yeah, we might be on different paths, but we're all headed for the same destination. Another drink, Ito?
Yes, I'd love some! Sake is very easy to drink. Here you are. It was perfectly normal alcohol, no poison or drugs, but we were making him drunk in order to murder him. We were making him drunk in order to murder him. She just says it so nonchalantly, it's fucking hilarious. How is that any different than me pouring poison straight into his cup? Because you're not the one stabbing him. My goodness, dear, you're shaking. Are you alright? Are you feeling ill?
You needn't worry about this one, Ito. I'm sure it's just nervousness from speaking to you.
My goodness, dear. He doesn't know we're a girl, though, does he? Did he know? I don't remember if Ito knew. Maybe he did. I doubt he would. I don't remember. But anyway, because he keeps calling us dear. Oh my, am I so terribly intriguing? This is a naughty one right here.
Yeah, this one has their moments sometimes. God, kid, you need a little self-control.
The subtle message was clear. Hide your emotions. I swallowed and nodded. It had been my choice to help with Ito's assassination. The least I could do now was not get in the way. Yes, I'm sorry. Oh, rubbish! This is a party. We needn't be so stiff.
Haha, Ito, you truly are a man worthy of distinction.
Is there anything else you want to ask me? I can answer anything. What's the meaning of life? 42. That's the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Time passed, and Ito was drunk. I like that. Well, it was nice to enjoy a meaningful conversation. And now, farewell! I'm literally like rolling around on my bouncy ball like I'm drunk on purpose to just... I do. I gesture. I move my hands and gesture when I talk and I read these things. So... the part is so weird.
Very well. Since it's dark out, please be sure to be careful when you leave.
To whom do you think you're speaking? There are no scoundrels that would dare think of killing me in Kyoto. After spending all night expounding on his theories for the advancement of Japanese society, Ito drunkenly stumbled off into the darkness. I watched him disappear. It would be the last time I would see him alive. I just quietly stared. I suddenly felt Kondo's big hands on top of my shoulders. He looks mad.
This sure leaves a bitter taste in your mouth, doesn't it? It's the path we chose. It's our duty to do this. I know it's not something we should be proud of. In order for us to progress, sometimes we have to do dirty jobs.
My heart felt conflicted. I couldn't say anything. I don't know why we had to choose this one in Soma's route, because I feel like this is something we should have done in Hijikata's route because of, whatever. I was the one who chose to be here, but still. See? We got points with Hijikata, for fuck's sake. No! We're supposed to do that in his fucking route. Ah! Anyway. Look, Kondo and you, while we're at it, this one's not on your head, all right? I made the plan. I gave the orders. I love you, Hijikata. I love them all. What happened afterward was not something I cared to remember. Ito, too drunk to fight back, was quickly killed by the men waiting for him. But the night was far from over. Battle and bloodshed waited at Aburano Koji for Nagakura and the men sent to ambush the guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Fate waited for Okita, convalescing at headquarters in Fudoto Village. For them, for all of us, we waited a night after which nothing would be the same. What? Today felt like the longest day out of the year. Okay, no, I'm gonna stop here. I was like gonna keep reading, and I was like, wait, no, we're gonna stop here. So yeah, we might get 4 to 5 parts. I was getting a little concerned because we went through chapter 3, we skipped through so much, but there's a lot of Soma stuff in the later chapters. We are at the end of chapter 4. We got like 2 more choices. And then we are into chapter 5. But we know chapter 5 usually takes a while, so we probably have maybe 2 more parts left. So we might get about 5 out of his, I think. But we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.